Welcome to MySchool training. In the first of 3 videos, we'll be looking at how to manage and apply learning outcomes as part of your assessment strategy. The other videos will look into content and topics and how to build your assessments for your grade reports. Learning outcomes are used as part of the continuous assessment modules available on MySchool. Use them for your assignments or part of your VLE. When grades have been collected, they then become evidences which are shown to educators as part of the assessment module. Learning outcomes can also be used for course objectives or individual goals. Using your own customized achievement scales or even a numerical scale, learning outcomes are a great way to monitor a student's progression. So let's go to the subject specifications page and have a look at how we can add learning outcomes to a subject. This is in the grade report, Advanced Options. It's given to administrators normally, but if you wish other users to have access, then contact our support team for help. We can create a specialized fixed group for you for people that would be helping building your assessment process. On this page, you'll notice that there are 3 tabs: Learning Outcomes, Content and Topics, and Assessments. You can also see the subject and year selector with the copy and import functions. Let's try to find our target subject. Enter the first few letters and select from the list. If you can't see any subjects, then you need to check your user group access rights. Contact again our support team for further information on this. Here we have a subject which already has some LOs created. As you can see, they can be grouped into folders per topic, or even per term, for example, if you wish. When you click on the triangle, all the LOs which are contained in the folder are shown and listed. Let's now search for a subject with no LOs and start to add some. You can either enter the subject in the name field, as we did before, or use the Explorer to find one. Choose the subject and confirm. If you are using the import function, then you do not need to search for a subject. Simply click on Import. When we do the import, it is either by a class or per subject. When we do it on the class level, all the attached subjects will have the LOs imported. Choose the year into which the LOs are to be imported, but please be aware that if you import into a year that has LOs and assessments, then these will be deleted. After, select the appropriate scale to use for these LOs. The scales need to be created in assignment configuration beforehand. Click to download the template. Please do not change the ordering of the columns. They are not mandatory, but the import may get corrupted if the order is not respected. Folder level 1 is the main grouping, whereas folder 2 is a second level inside of that folder. But let's look at creating an LO manually first, which will help us understand all of these fields for the import. Let's first add a folder to help group the LOs. Click on the icon. This is a level 1 folder. Level 2 folders are when they are created within a folder. Folders are purely used to group LOs together. Normally it would be a topic, or it can even be a specific assessment period, i.e. call it Term 1 LOs if we want to. We have a folder. Let's go back to the top level and add an individual LO. Use the list item icon for this. Let's add a title for the LO. This will appear on the assessment reports and assessment pages that are not grid-based. The code is what will be shown on the grid column heading and used as a quick reference. Mousing over the code in the grid view will show the long title where appropriate to the teachers that are assessing. You can apply dates to your learning outcomes as well, to restrict these to specific terms or assessment periods during the year. If you wish for the LO to be used all year long, then you can leave these blank. The active checkbox can be used to deactivate the LO. Maybe in the case that you've imported a big list and that some learning outcomes may not be used this year at all. If you delete LOs, then you will lose the historic assessments attached, so it's always good to use the deactivate button when needed. If you wish to use the LO average or the continuous assessment calculation available, then each LO must be assigned a numerical point. Please check out the articles which show you how to configure this for your subjects. Now, you can choose a scale from your pre-created list. Achievement scales work best with the LOs. We can see that the LO was created outside of the Level 1 group folder. By simply holding the left mouse button, you can drag it into the folder. You can also use this method to reorder your content. To add an LO to an already existing folder, then click on the list view in the same line as the folder and just add the second learning outcome. You can have as many folders you want for your learning outcomes to better organize them for your teachers. So let's add a second folder to our list. If you select the folder checkbox, it will select all of the LOs included. If you wish to update all the LOs within inside of your assessment criteria, then simply use the multi-update button. You have the option of applying a preset date to all the LOs included, or change the scale for all the LOs that have been selected. Let's now check out how they can be used across the system. The aim of the learning objective is to use them throughout the year. Let's go to the assignment module, as this is not only for homework but can also be used to track classwork during the year. Let's select our course and term and add an assignment. Learning outcomes are shown on the Options tab. Open the folders to show their contents. Apply the appropriate scale for the learning outcomes. If you move to the right hand side, you can see that there is a light bulb. Click on this and a table will show how many times the learning outcome has been applied and which assessment period. Use the plus icon to add it to the assignment from here. Once all is set up, then we can click Save for the assignment. We see that they are now applied and can start to be used as evidences. Next, let's just check out their work in our assessment pages. So, first thing we need to do is to go back to Subject Specifications. We need to switch to the Assessment tab and apply the assessment type Learning Outcomes. While we're at it, we can also see if the LO average is working as well. In List View, this time we can see that educators can check the use of LOs during the assessment period, as they are now classed as evidences. This doesn't show in the grid view. The educators can then set to the highest, the average, or the latest scale that has been applied for that learning outcome. Finally, let's see the end product. Let's check out how they look on the assessment report. Here we can see that there are progress bars applied. You can choose whether to show these or not on your custom assessment report builds.